Good evening. My name is ClaudeRuboneka. I'm a junior economics student here at the University of Arkansas. I'm originally from the Democratic Republic of Congo, but I moved to Jefferson City, Missouri when I was 6.5 years old. I find art is very important to me. I find it very interesting. Art allows us humans to express ourselves in ways other organisms cannot. For my honors art history class, we were asked to research a piece of art, and I chose to do St. Catherine's at Belle Gable, and it's located right here in Fayetteville, Arkansas. The building of St. Catherine's at Belle Gable started in the summer of 1986 by Lau Boynton. It was finished 12 years later. The church was inspired by a stained glass window and doors from a church in England. The engineer, Lau, didn't have any plans for the project written out. He instead stored all the information in his head when the chapel was being built. The chapel is not very big and is open to all people of all faiths. Lau was very hands-on during the whole construction of the chapel. He built and welded much of the things inside the church himself. For example, the scaffolding was personally built by Lau and the metal crane that sits in the middle of the aisle. The chapel was built in a remote location in the Ozark Mountains and offers beautiful landscaping. The chapel is most notably used for weddings because of the great beauty it has. The church holds religious value because of the nature of the building. Churches are made for people to worship and people feel closer to God when they are in church. The church is made of red and gray bricks. Bricks have a sandy texture and are not one of those smooth bricks. The artist uses his angles pretty well in this and the church. From the outside, it appears to be completely symmetrical. There is a bell tower at the top. The owner of the chapel chose not to cut off all the vegetation that grows in the chapel so that it would have a more natural feel. The property also features a beautiful arched wooden bridge. The bridge is not very big and doesn't take up a lot of space. Other than the stained glass window inside the church does not have a lot of color. Lau chose to use subtle colors in the making of the chapel, so not to take away from the engineering and architecture itself. The owners have kept the chapel pretty simple and have not put very many paintings inside the chapel. For the artwork, I'm going to use semiology to describe it. Semiology, as most of you all know, is the science of signs. The church is small, so it must mean that it wasn't made for a lot of people. That makes people's connections with the religion a little more personal. The vegetation growing on the chapel gives it a more natural feel. The subtle colors of the bricks give it a more simple look. The remote location of the church gives it some privacy. It's not all out in the open for everybody to see. It gives it a more personal feeling. To get to the church, you have to want to find the church and want to get there. I think that is important for the piece of work as a whole. Although the church is modern, it has a Gothic feel to it. The pointed arches and the stained glass windows were part of the Gothic era. I think my favorite part of Gothic architecture were the stained glass windows that really made the churches stand out. The churches are usually pretty bland without color. The stained glass windows give the churches color and some excitement. The first reason why I chose to do this piece of art was because it was located in Fayetteville. It's very convenient. I don't want to feel like driving to a far off location to do this, and I don't have a reliable means of transportation, and I want my roommate to drop me off. Second reason why I chose this was because it was the landscaping around it. The mountains were nice, and the creek that it was built on was also very nice. It's very homely feeling. Um, the third reason why I chose this was because I used to read a book series when I was younger called Redwall, and the small red church in that book also ties in with this piece of artwork. So anytime I can tie something back to my childhood, it's always nice. I used to be a pretty avid reader, and I like to still read books now, sometimes now. Um, I've learned a lot in this class. I used not art very much. I didn't see the point in it, but I changed my ways a little bit, and I'd say thank you.